In today's video, I'm going to be explaining how to solve any physics calculation. Yes, how to solve any physics calculation given to you. Now, to solve any physics calculation, what we do use is called the IC strategy. The IC strategy, that is the strategy you can use to solve or handle any physics calculation given to you. So what do you mean by the IC strategy? Or what does the IC strategy stands for? Now, the IC strategy, the I there stands for identify, the S stands for setup, the E stands for execute, and the other E stands for evaluate. Now we're going to be explaining each of the steps under the IC strategy one after the other. So we're going to be starting with I. So what does the I stand for? The I stands for identify. So what do we do under the identify? This is where we're going to identify the relevant idea that the particular question we're trying to solve belongs to. Then we'll also identify the parameters. The parameters are the quantities that are given in the question. We identify all of them. So the next is that we're going to identify the target variable. The target variable is that particular quantity that they ask us to calculate in the given question. For example, in this question we are having here, the question says that calculate the extension produced by an elastic cord of force constant 1500 Newton per meter if a force of 100 Newton is applied. So if you have to solve this question, we're going to begin with the identify step. So here we're going to write out the relevant idea. The relevant idea is Hooke's law, because that is the topic or the concept that the question we're trying to solve is related to. So the next we'll write out our parameters. The parameters are the quantities given. So in this particular question now, the parameters given are the force constant, which is K. The symbol for force constant is K. All right, so we write out K is equal to 1500 Newton per meter. Then we were also given force of 100 Newton. So we also write it out, which is F equals to 100 Newton. So here we also identify the target variable. So the target variable in this particular question given to us is extension, because the question says that we have to calculate for the extension produced by the wire. So we just write E equals to unknown. The E there stands for the extension. All right, so the next step is called the setup. Under the setup, this is the step where we are going to write out the relevant formula that can be used to solve the given question. All right, so according to this given question now, the relevant formula is F equals to KE. All right, because that is the formula we can use to solve the Hooke's law question. So the next we do under the top step is to make sure that the quantity we're trying to solve is made the subject of the formula. So according to this question now, we have F equals to KE and E equals to F over K. As you can see, that the target variable, that is the quantity that they ask us to calculate for, has been made the subject of the formula. So that this is what we do under the setup step. So the next is the execute. So under the execute step, this is the step where we are going to carry out the calculations, the substitution of our parameters, and the mathematical calculations of the solvings. So it is under the execute we carry out our calculation. We substitute for our parameters. F is 100 Newton and K is 1500 Newton per meter. Everything has been written here. All right, so Newton cancel Newton. So our E will now be equals to 1 over 15 meters. Remember that the reciprocal of per meter is going to give us meters. So that is why the SI unit for extension here is in meters. So if you have to divide 1 by 15, we are going to be having 0.07 meters. 0.07 meters. So therefore the extension is 0.07 meters. So the next step, which is the final step, is the evaluate. So after getting our answer under the execute, because the execute step is where we get our final answer, then we now have to evaluate our answer. By evaluating our answer, it simply means that we're trying to check our answer, whether our answer makes sense, whether our answer is reasonable. All right, because physics is an experimental science, so we have to check whether our answer agrees with practical realities. For example, if our answer is giving us a negative symbol, a negative sign there, or a negative answer, it simply means that the answer does not make sense, because the measurement of an extension can never give us a negative values. All right, so Since our calculation is positive here, it means that our answer makes sense. All right, so that is what we do under the evaluate step. All right, so that is all about the IC strategy. And also remember that the IC strategy can also be used under every other subject, every other calculations in any other subjects like economics. It can be used in mathematics, especially the word problems in mathematics. This strategy can also be successfully used. All right, so that is all for today, and I hope that you are going to like, share, and comment on this video. Thank you for watching.